Hello everyone, it's Becky here from Ivy's Corner and welcome to this new video I'm posting on drawing and making your own string for Project Pack 26, day number 4. So this is following along with Project Pack 26. If you're not familiar with Zentangle project packs, they are essentially really fabulous collections of lessons and supplies that the team over at Zentangle HQ have curated and put together for us. You can go ahead and buy the project packs via the Zentangle website. I'll pop a little link down in the description of where to do that. It's really great to be able to buy them if you can, because you get all of the supplies and can follow along the videos with exactly the same supplies as the team at Zentangle HQ have. However, if you can't get hold of the Zentangle project packs, sometimes it's a little bit tricky if you're not based in the USA. I myself wasn't able to get hold of the Project Pack 26 on this occasion. So I had to make do with the materials that I had at home. And what was key for Zentangle Project Pack 26 is that it's all based around the idea of strings in Zentangle. So creating the string to follow along with the video was a key part of the project pack. Now I did this myself, I meted out the strings for each day myself, and I just thought I would show you how I went about doing that because I know it can be a little bit tricky. So what I've got in front of me here is my tile divider, which is available on my website. I will pop a link to that also in the description for you. It's completely free. And let me just hop across to my other camera for you. So here we have my tile divider, the Ivy's Corner tile divider. This is just a really great resource for you to help divide up your tile should you want to create a bit more of a structure around the tile that you're creating. So in this instance, obviously, we're copying some strings that the Zentangle HQ team have created with these brand new pre-strung Zendalas. You might want to divide up your tile so that you can follow along in a mosaic. You can create string lines that cross mosaics more accurately. Or perhaps you're creating a mandala and you want to divide up the space more equally. This will help you with all of that. And I've also included the ways to do that for all different tiles currently available from Zentangle HQ at the time of creation. So right from BG tiles all the way up to the 5x5 tiles, not the Opus tile because it's too big to fit on the paper. But otherwise everything is on there. So if you grab hold of your tile divider, you can also use the Marcus Operandus from Zentangle HQ's website. Let me just make sure that my camera is focused for you. I'm going to open it up at the Zendala page. So here we have the Zendala tile marker page on my Ivy's Corner tile divider document. I've got my Zendala here. I'm going to place it on top here and line it up in this circle. So once we've placed our Zendala on the tile marker, for day 4's string, I'm going to divide my tile into 5 sections. So I'm going to use this tile divider. This one's slightly tricky. Sometimes it's slightly tricky to know which line to look at, but I've tried to make it easy for this one because you can see these little pentagon shapes on some of these lines here. And I'm going to just put a little mark where each of these pentagons comes in to the Zendala. Now, before I put my tile divider away, I'm also going to just make a note of where the centre point of the tile is. And to do that, I'm going to draw, as well as my 5 points here, I'm going to number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm also going to take my first point here and just mark it in here so I can see where the opposite point to this first point is. And I'm going to do the same thing, turn my tile so point 2 is at the top and then mark the opposite of that point. Now these 2 lines really are only for guidance of creating the centre point of the tile. So I'm going to move my tile divider away and just zoom in for you. Refocus my camera. There we go. So I don't want to use a ruler, so I've got just a micron here. And what I'm going to do is just divide up, well not divide up, but mark out, use my micron to kind of roughly line up with this first point and its opposite point. And then draw a little line like so. So I've got that kind of rough guide of where the centre is. And then the same with point number 2, lining up point number 2 with its opposite point here. And then just a little line so that I can see where these lines cross is going to be the centre of our tile. Now, just to avoid confusion, I'm then going to rub out these 2 centre points that aren't numbered because they don't matter any longer now that I have my central point. So, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to just kind of roughly mark a little bit further away. So the end of these points, I want to basically kind of roughly mark out maybe 1/2 centimetre from the end of the edge of the tile, so I know where I'm aiming for, because I want to have a little bit of a border on this tile, although I'm not going to draw a full border around the edge of the tile. Now from my central point, the first thing I'm going to do is just do a kind of a gently curving line joining the centre point to this first point here. It's just a nice gentle C-curve. And I'm going back and forth a couple of times until I'm happy with how it's looking. And if you want to, you can then go in and just neaten it up a little bit with your precision eraser, if you have one. And then I'm going to just repeat that for each of these points. So just a gently curving line going from the centre out to the edge. And we should have 5 of these. This is a really fun string that kind of resembles like a funky starfish. And each of these lines is like the leg of a starfish. So, I mean, some of my lines are a little bit more curved than the others, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be hugely precise. There we go. So I've got my 5 kind of softly curving lines now. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come from each of my edge points, the points at the edge of the Zendala, and just kind of curve a line in so it reaches roughly the centre of each of these lines. So I'm going to eyeball where I think the centre of each of these lines is roughly. It's not precise. And then I'm going to just gently curve from this outside. In fact, I'll start it from point number 1. From the outside point here, I'm going to gently curve another C-curve down to this centre point that I've just marked on the next line along. So just gently doing a little C-curve, so it kind of looks like a shark fin. And then turning my tile and doing that again. So just repeating that step again. Like so. And if you want, actually, I think I'm gonna, you can, if you have written these numbers in around the outside, feel free to remove them. You don't need them any longer. In fact, I might just get rid of mine now because we are almost done with this tile now, this string. You can press lighter than I have been. I'm doing this a little bit more firmly than I would otherwise do, just for demonstration purposes. I'm also going to rub out these edges now because I have my points. There we go. And you might like to just make sure your little starfish points are nice and defined if you've been rubbing things out. There we go. Okay, so there's the kind of beginnings of my little 5-pointed starfish, and there's just one final point that we're going to do. So I'm going to mark again, roughly, if you imagine this central line here coming across, I'm going to roughly mark where would be in between the edge point and here. So it's going to kind of be somewhere around there on each of these. So maybe you don't have to draw across. You can kind of just roughly guesstimate where that point would be. And then once we've done that, we're going to do a kind of a very soft S-curve coming from the top point of our fin to this point over here. So we're coming in the opposite directions that we've been drawing before. We're going to come out and then gently in. So you see it's kind of like an S-curve in that way. We're going to come out and then gently in. These do not need to all look absolutely identical. You might find that some of them are slightly bigger than others, the spaces that you're left with, and that's totally fine. And that is our constructed string for day number 4 of Project Pack 26. I hope you found that helpful. I'm really excited to get tangling on this now and create something new. If you do use this video tutorial, I'm going to just rub out these middle bits here. If you use this video tutorial to help create your string, I would really love to see your work. So please do tag me on all the social media. I'm on Instagram at ivy_corner_arts and various other places as well. YouTube, obviously, TikTok and Facebook, etc. Also on Pinterest. So please do tag me if you create your string using this video, and you can use the hashtag Ivy's Corner as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you found it useful. You can head back and watch previous videos on this little series I'm doing, and stay tuned for future ones which I'm going to be doing day 5, 6, 7 and 8. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.